just one of the more disturbing games I've ever watched. 118 to 114. Now I'm putting in that level, Chud. I see you laughing over there.
It's one of the more disturbing games I've ever seen. Seems a little over the top in my books. A lot of positives to take away.
That's reasonable. Like, that against us, that can't be a surprise.
I disagree. I'm still like, I don't buy into the fucking voodoo. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous.
So how many times does he have to shoot extraordinary well against us before
more times?
Did it 9 times.
I mean, talk about a day when most of the eyeballs in the league,
seriously,
you have so many of these great young players on display and a chance to talk them up, and you've got this guy in there who's just like, best players are these two 38-year-olds on teams that are roughly 500 and have no chance to win the finals, but blah, blah, blah. Like, fuck off.
I know.
Strip the bolts on them. Should've never sent them to pick up the work for me. Sprayed the park and had my shit inside the car. Marcus Smart boy was shooting with a 36 on him. Said if he wasn't in the rush, they was all goners.
All right. Greetings, Chudlings. Welcome to another episode of Chuddy's Corner. It is Wednesday, December 25th. It is Christmas, and Christmas is canceled. Celtics lose tonight. Just one of the more disturbing games I've ever watched. 118 to 114. Now I'm putting in that level, Chud. I see you laughing over there.
Wow.
Just repulsive. I was at the game, so definitely just a lot more probably pissed off just because take a big risk spending your Christmas at the game. Big risk. Shout out to the sponsor. Last minute tickets from the sponsor. So shout out sponsor, but also sponsors canceled too. Tough game to be at. I'm going to start with you because I feel like I could rant, but I'm going to let maybe your cooler heads. I did a little ranting on the ride home. I kind of like pre-podded the pod. So I'm going to let you go first. Celtics lose. I did a saving the score, 118 to 114. They fall to 22-8. They've lost 3 of the last 4. Is the sky falling, Chud? Good
Merry
Christmas gear, by the way.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to you too, Dugouts. Really bringing that Scrooge energy today. I get it. I mean, hey.
I didn't bring that energy.
Well, one of the more disturbing games I've ever seen. Seems a little over the top in my books. A lot of positives to take away. That's reasonable. Very weird game. Very inconsistent game. Kristaps Porzingis leaves with an injury, sprained ankle. Joel Embiid seemingly sprained his ankle before the game in what looked like a WWE promo. Only Embiid can shoot a turnaround jumper with nobody on the court and just sprain his ankle on a security, outrageous.
It looked like he just did it himself. I saw a clip that looked like he just did it himself.
He stepped on somebody's foot. I don't know. Either way, it's just only him would this happen to. It's just obviously that's a storyline now going into the game. Obviously he's fine, goes out and plays. Weird game to start, just took us a few minutes to get going. Horford and Porzingis burying threes was really the only offense. But yeah, just kind of we
only had 4 points that weren't threes in the first quarter.
Yeah, weird kind of start. I thought weird Christmas energy, sluggish a little bit out of the gates, a little sloppy with the ball.
Garden was dead, absolute dead zone. Can't confirm.
Yeah, I mean tough, weird day all around. Like I said, but then to me, I guess. a few things I guess were frustrating in this game. One, I feel like this is the third or fourth time where Porzingis, I don't know if you saw this at the game, but he very clearly got injured, was grimacing and then hobbling, and then was kind of limping up and down the court, left him in, then took him out, put him back in the second quarter, and I thought he just clearly looked awful. Wasn't moving. I think that was when the Sixers went on their big run, made it a 15-point game, and it's just I thought we've gone over this, just every ounce of precaution with this guy. He's in there, clearly injured, hurting the team. They're going on this giant run. It's just obviously something's wrong. Sure enough, doesn't come out of the locker room after halftime, is ruled out. So that whole second quarter to me was just a waste. And that was when they got their big lead, was just Al sitting, Porzingis in. Brutal. And then I thought the team came out. Third quarter played great. Great third quarter all around. Got right back in the game. I think it was tied heading into the fourth quarter. Start of the fourth quarter. Horford back to the bench. Lead immediately goes away. Sixers went on an 18-4 run. All the starters came back in, and we just kind of dominated. Wasn't enough down the stretch. And then you've got the classic Caleb Martin, Devil Magic's back. Dude hits fucking 7 of 9 threes. Hasn't made a shot all year. So I'm sure people will be pissed at you got to cover him, but I'm sure Joe's going to say we're going to live with that. And
no. You have to cover him. You have to cover him.
Some of the players were messed
specifically.
up. But
any other player with his stats, you don't.
I'm not overreacting even to the devil magic. It's fucked up, but he's banking in fucking 30-footers. It's just like, fuck that. His shot is so gross. It's so fucking disgusting.
He does like a little kick with his feet. So
and it's like such a line drive.
He can't jump high enough.
It's like he's just determined to be stepping on the line. It seems like he's trying to seek out the line to step on it most of the time. He takes like 4 seconds too long, even though there's no one near him. Just everything about it is gross. Like, I'm sorry, but I will continue to live with that shot. He sucks at shooting threes. It's just too random against us. I'm willing to live with it. We lived with it last year in the playoffs, and it came down to earth. He had another. This was, I guarantee, if you look it up, I bet you this was literally his best game since the fucking 2023 East Finals. I
have some stats about why we should specifically cover him. Any other player with his numbers,
but
I'm with you that we can live with it.
Again,
he shoots.
I don't know.
He shoots 48% from 3 against us. He shoots 33.7 against everyone else.
Exactly. That's outrageous.
It's the highest point differential. Against a different team, versus the rest of your stats. 9 times he shot over 40% against us. He's only done it once. He's only done it twice against Detroit. Never more than once against anyone else. And then he was 7 for 9 against us tonight. You gotta cover that guy.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolute devil magic carryover. It's so fucking frustrating to watch. It drives me crazy. But again, I just don't put much stock into that. I thought it was hilarious. Like, Philly's big 3 finally on the court.
9 times.
Maxey, Embiid, and Caleb Martin, because Paul George looks a lot like doing a great Tobias Harris imitation on that team. If you switch the jerseys, you would not know that they didn't still have Tobias Harris out there getting in cardio, scoring 12 points that are completely like the quietest 12
There was some
ever.
kid that the whole entire game was just like on Paul George's neck. He just kept being like, "It's just George, you washed."
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. He's in the first year of a max deal.
Like 10 years old.
Embiid put up some stats, but I thought once again just got absolutely owned by Al Horford. I mean, pretty crazy in this game that Philly won by 4. Embiid was a minus 18 in his minutes. Al was a plus 22. That's kind of the story of the game, and that's why before anyone gets too discouraged, it's like when we had real players in there, we absolutely dominated their real players. It was really Tyrese Maxey that cooked Payton Pritchard and Sam Hauser, who went a combined 0 for 9.
What does that mean, real players?
Like Luke Cornett and Kata aren't going to be playing against Embiid in like a playoff game when they went on a giant run. Well, yeah, they might, and if they do, we're fucked.
Like they played in the playoffs last year.
Not really. I mean, that's I don't know. They maybe because Porzingis was out, whatever. But either way, they went on the big run when Horford wasn't playing. It was a playoff game. Horford's going to play 40 minutes if Porzingis isn't there. Like, I don't know. He's a plus 22, and Embiid was a minus 18. He absolutely fucking dominated him. Again, they just had ridiculous shooting kept up with us, and the Celtics, absolutely nothing from the bench. Pritchard's in a bit of a slump. Hauser's doesn't seem like he's back in his rhythm. I mean, those two guys added nothing, and they were getting absolutely torched by Tyrese Maxey, who was the player of the game, at least for the Sixers. But, I mean, I thought Tatum was great. It's absolutely insane how he can't get a call. I don't know if it looked as bad at the game as on TV, but look, he's just getting absolutely mugged. You'd think he'd get some of those calls. I mean, maybe by the end, it's like almost getting a little over the top, but it just
he definitely should get some of those calls, but
it seems crazy. Again, not the reason they lost, but it just seems wild. The difference in two ends, especially the whistle like Embiid gets versus the whistle Tatum does not get, where it's just be consistent. It's fine. Brutal first half from Jalen, but then I thought he woke up, was awesome, especially in the third. It seems like, again, he just kind of realizes, like, he gets pissed off and was like, okay, like, you're really not going to call that? Fine. Then I'm just going to fucking bully mode your entire team. And that's kind of what we started doing. Again, very frustrating loss. The ending was very frustrating, but it's just that, a regular season loss on a Wednesday in December.
Yeah. I don't know. They've lost 3 or 4. Sky's not falling.
No.
Not totally worried. But it's now, I think, enough of a pattern that we have to say, like, something in that. I was kind of thinking about this in the way here. It's like, it doesn't seem like it's ever, like, the same thing that's, like, bad. Which is, I don't know if that makes me feel better or not. You know, it's not like it's ever just, like, this one thing. We keep getting beaten on this one thing, and that was it. It almost feels like it's always, like, some different kind of things, but like tonight, I feel like you mentioned the bench. I just think Pritchard's kind of been in a slump. I think even Derek White, I think he finished with 21 points, but he
finally hit some threes, but he's been slumping too.
Yeah, but yeah, we've been missing, I think, in our offense has been Derek White and Payton Pritchard.
Sure.
I think that's kind of
no
where
Drew Holiday tonight, of course, too. So one less guy who has a chance to get it going, and one less guy who can fucking maybe stop Maxey. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, but I just still think the execution though towards the end of the game was just so because the thing that gets me the most frustrated with these games is like we go on that run, we get it to 3, and then we just like shit our pants and just play crappy again, don't execute well, and the next thing you know the lead's just ballooned up again. I don't understand how we can look so bad sometimes, how the offense can look so bad. It seems off. It is off. We've lost 3 or 4. Like it's not.
I don't
it's
think
not a
the
panic
offense
mode.
ever really looked that bad. When was like what stretch are you referring to? I mean, there's times when the bench was in and just couldn't hit
they missed like 4 layups in a row in those crunch times down in the minute, like down in the final minutes. Like they cut the lead to 3 and then they just couldn't score. They were just missing shots right at the rim.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
That's been an issue. That's an issue. That's not good. Those are things and like you're right. Some of those there's definitely a lot of contact and stuff like that. But I just still think. I didn't think that they were particularly good looks at the rim anyway.
I'd have to go back and watch, but I didn't think down the stretch anything was wrong there. I thought we just like.
So what do you think? So why did they lose the game? It seems like
I think Philly played the best. Philly showed up and played by far the best game of Philly season. We kind of coasted through parts of the game, played a whole quarter with a guy who was clearly injured, got absolutely nothing from the bench. And we're missing one of our starters, and had a chance to win in the fucking last 30 seconds. Like it's fine. It's not a big. I don't know. Horford was awesome. Tatum was awesome.
This is insane.
Brown was good in the second
We should have beaten this team by $1 billion.
I mean, I guess
Sixers
I thought the Sixers played great. Maxey was unfucking real. They shot out of their fucking boards. They didn't tonight.
I don't know.
The Sixers played great. You were there.
Right,
you didn't think they played well?
So they played well. Yeah. So what made them play well? Was our defense? Do you think our defense was good? Did you like the defense?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't good enough. A lot of
the game, you're like, oh, the Sixers played well. That has nothing to do with what the Celtics are doing. No, it probably has a lot to do with what we're doing.
I think
so. The Sixers, they just played their best game of the season against us.
Yes,
that's not like that bothers me. We shouldn't we fucking own the Sixers. You're seeing it like it's 2 different things. Like,
I'm just not worried about it. When the Sixers just play, they have all their guys. They're obviously a good basketball team. They haven't had them many times. They did today. They were obviously super fired up. Again, definitely approached this game like it was their fucking Super Bowl. Celtics didn't have the same energy. You can be, if you want to be pissed about that, fine. But again, we won't play Super Bowls in the regular season anymore. We're not Philly. So yeah, they were more hyped up for the game. They played their best game of the year. We were missing one of our starters, lost one of our starters in the first quarter, and had a few guys play really, really poorly. They had Caleb Martin play the best fucking game of his life, and Maxey playing unreal too.
He always does that against us. That can't be a surprise.
I'm still I don't buy into the fucking voodoo. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous.
So how many times does he have to shoot extraordinary well against us for
more times?
Did it 9 times. How many times has he played us?
I don't know, man. I just can't.
Let's see.
I'm not going to overreact to some shitty shooter who just has out of his mind luck against us like that. I'm just not. I'm sorry. He had his crazy game, and it sucks. But whatever. I was happy with most of the time the way we were executing on offense. I thought we got back to getting good 3-point looks, made a decent amount. Again, it just sucks to lose. I want to win every game, but it's just like a 4-point loss against a good team that plays really well. And a lot of breaks don't go your way. That sucks, but still could have easily won this game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, doesn't that bother you too, though? That you say we could have easily won this game. We didn't, though.
I mean, if it became a recurring theme at this point, it's a 2-game losing streak, our first of the season.
Panic? 3 out of 4?
Go ahead. Yeah, it's fine if you want to panic. Next 2 games, I think both against the Pacers, a team that always plays well against us too. So we'll see how good opportunity to bounce back there. But as of now, in a nutshell, I was pissed during the game. I was annoyed. I was into the game. I was frustrated. I wanted to win bad. But after the game was over and kind of looking at it as a whole, I was like, fuck. I mean, the Sixers played great. Caleb Martin played really well. Yabusele played really well. Tyrese Maxey played really fucking well.
And we played blank.
Horford was awesome. Horford outplayed Embiid.
And we played blank.
Okay. We can play a lot better. We will play a lot better when we have to. I'm not concerned about it. Like, I don't know. We just saw the team not no-show a single playoff game for 19 games in a row, come out and bust ass every single game because they go through a rough stretch. I mean, we went through a rough stretch last year in January. The Clippers came in last year, beat the fuck out of us. The Lakers, with none of their good
they're
players,
coming up around the corner. They're going to get to the schedule later. They're coming up.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's a frustrating game. It's, again, I'm not like drawing anything from it that's meaningful beyond one game.
Yeah,
there's no worry or panic or anything like that for me, at least.
Just to me, right now, what we kind of feel like is, like, you know, in Harry Potter, when they first take kill the first Horcrux, and it's like Voldemort can sense that he's still badass, he's still not to be reckoned with, but he's kind of ooh, there's just a layer of vulnerability has appeared in the air, you know. He tries to do his spell, and it's still a sick spell. Everyone's like, oh, but he's you can tell he kind of turned. He's like, oh shit, that didn't feel as strong as I used to feel. That's how I feel right now. I don't feel as strong as I used to feel the last few games. And it might just be a rough in the patch in the road. That could definitely be it. But it's I saw our blood for the first time today, and I'm like, whoa, I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't like it. But I don't know. I think that's, again, it's kind of is taking a macro look at things. It's a tough game, but again,
yeah, but
22-8, everything.
If we're going to do a podcast after every game, we can't be always doing macro look.
I know, but
we're micro looking right now.
I think today it's important too, because there definitely are people out there taking the micro approach and sky's falling and panic and everything. And I'm just here to say, I still think that would be crazy to do until I need to see a much longer stretch of bad or inconsistent play before I worry that it's a trend at all. Where, again, we're 22-8, we have still a top 10 offensive and defensive rating, and for the most part, what I'm watching, I'm seeing, again, reassuring things. You watch today's game, Al Horford certainly hasn't fallen off. Jason Tatum's having his best season and was awesome today. Jaylen Brown in the second half got it going. Everything I'm seeing just is fine and passes the smell test. And again, I just think when they have to get up for the games, I'm not saying I want them to coast through the entire regular season, obviously, but when you win a championship, it affords you that luxury. Again, if this team had fallen short in the finals last year and we get a game like today, we're probably a different conversation. But I'm not just going to excuse every single thing on the fact that we won, but it does kind of excuse a lot of things. At the same time,
it's a good excuse.
Hard to say it's
just a great ace in the sleeve thing for sure. But no, all right. So go to a little micro too. You need more. I will go down, and I don't want to pick on just Derek White, but I feel like his shooting has been poor lately. Tonight he had a good game. He made some big shots down the stretch. He
did shoot better.
5 of 12 before that, 3 of 12, 5 of 14, 5 of 10, 7 of 13, 3 of 9, 1 of 10, 4 of 15. It's kind of a bit of a shooting slump. And I think that's a
shooting slump, but I also think that's okay. It's going to happen. And I'm glad that he's still getting
6 or 7 games.
The fact that he's still shooting that many makes me happy. Today they came around. Today I thought it was weird. He was sloppy. He's usually the face of consistency and reliability. I thought he had a few weird turnovers.
Yeah,
a few times where it seemed
turnovers.
Like he just
Tatum
lost
had
the ball.
5, I think. No, I think Brown had 5. Tatum had 4.
I wonder how many of each of those turnovers were things that just could have easily been a foul. But either way, regardless, Derek White's usually very sure-handed, and seems like he almost wasn't. It was making clumsy plays, and it seemed like he was just slipping. I don't know if he was wearing different shoes or all the red gear or the floor or something, but it seemed like a lot of plays he was just slipping. Literally falling down on the court. So just weird, but again, not anything that I have no reason to be worried about Derek White. He didn't play a great game, but I have no doubt.
Just so it doesn't seem like I'm picking on just Derek White, I mentioned I think Pritchard's offense has been missing too. He's 1 of 9, 3 of 7, 2 of 7, 5 of 12, 5 of 12. So I think they're just we're in a rough spot.
Yeah,
we don't need to panic. We don't need to panic. We're in a rough spot, and I think fans do have a right. Fans do have. No, because I'm still pissed and I'm still frustrated. I think
you can be pissed and frustrated.
Right, but I think that's where a lot of people with this team now. It's like as if you can't have a bad opinion on them when they play this poorly because they won.
Okay, but it's also over an 82-game stretch. I think you can have a rough patch, and again, that rough patch is what?
But 2 games in a row can be frustrated about that. I'm surprised if it wasn't Christmas. They should. I thought they would have gotten booed tonight.
That's.
If it wasn't for Christmas, the Christmas spirit.
Simply too much.
I don't know, man. I was there. I was in the trenches. It was brutal. Way too many kids that Christmas game.
I don't know. I thought they turned it on and valiantly made it a game big time and almost won. Easily could have if a few more balls went their way. And a few more fucking
easily could have. If they easily could have, they would have.
Well, that's not necessarily
They got
true.
within 3 and then they shit their diaper again.
Yeah, they had some things that didn't go their way.
And then when they're down 4, they hit another 3 to make it so you feel like they could easily, but they never were gonna. It was over.
They weren't never gonna. They very much
when they got it to 3,
could've.
I thought they were gonna. I thought they were gonna when they got it to 3, and then when the lead ballooned back up again, I was like, all right.
Yes.
But then when Jalen hit that 3, then I was also like, all right. I thought that wasn't like kind of a bullshit call. They called like a foul that should have been like when they trapped him beat or whatever. Did they call that a foul? Did that go out of bounds? Or no, we scored off that.
Yeah. Oh, it should have been an and one, if anything, on Embiid. We drilled Tatum
there was
in the head
something that
on that layup. But
yeah,
I don't know. Again, this game really, we can talk about the end and like whatever, but this game was lost in the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter and most of the second quarter is really when the game was lost, and for just stupid, annoying reasons. But like whatever. Again, nothing that it drives me crazy in the moment, but looking back, it's just like, damn, our bench got absolutely fucking dominated by the Sixers bench of Lowry, Yabusele, and
dude,
I
Lowry's
remember who the other guy was, but it's
worst.
like Lowry is the worst. He is awful.
Such a little rat.
Again, like that.
Not even like a rat.
Just isn't
that's
real
too
to me.
cool.
The stuff is not real to me, so it's like it sucks. It pisses me off, but I'm not gonna let fucking stupid Philly get me that upset on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm probably just pissed because I
We'll
spent so much of my Christmas there.
We'll be all right. Yeah, that is annoying. I totally understand, but
yeah.
Overall,
I mean, on an aside, the Christmas experience at the TD Garden was, I don't know, it was just very, very
love
quiet.
the red accessories with the green. I thought that was a nice touch. The NBA
Well,
loved
that looked great. Yeah, no, that was unis pop.
Kata made too much red. Yeah, a sleeve on every arm and every appendage.
I love Pritchard too. Pritchard like doesn't wear anything like that, so he had like red undershorts that you could basically see in socks.
Luke,
but
not a trace of red.
no. But no, I did think overall, kind of like I was kind of excited for the opportunity again. Shout out to the sponsor, Nick Prano Real Estate. So I was like, glad to go. It was like, obviously you can take an opportunity to go to a game, you go. But I don't know what I expected the Christmas experience to be, but it was just very kind of quiet. Everyone was kind of subdued. There was a few points where the Garden definitely got like loud. Don't get me wrong, but I thought it was just overall kind of like a little pedestrian. The overall overall
I mean,
vibe.
it's a bunch of casuals getting last second gifts, taking their significant others.
Whoa, wait. Who are you talking about?
Wait a minute. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's not going to be your most diehards on Christmas Day, and I mean, in the middle of the afternoon on a Wednesday.
I'm glad I went, obviously, but I don't know if I do it. I don't know if I commit another Christmas to it.
One of the best things about this Celtics team and why they have such great chemistry and are such like a mature and like poised team is because these are all proud, honorable family men. So obviously they're focused family first on a day like today.
Yeah, they had Deuce ran over to the bench in the middle of the game.
Al's kids, Derek's got his little kids. They've all got little rugrats running around. This day's about them. Let Philly have their little Super Bowl again.
The other thing I don't like about
in April or May if they're
the other thing I don't like too, when you go to a game, you take a huge risk that the person sitting next to you just like has the most annoying takes of the whole game. The guy next to us was just complaining about the amount of threes, which is like they shot like the normal amount, but they made a good amount too. I think they're like 20 or 43. But he just was complaining the whole time about how many threes they'd shoot.
That's awesome.
But I don't get why, because they're making threes. No, I was actually on the other side. It was Mrs. Dugout. She told me more about it at the end of the game. I couldn't really hear him.
Seats at that point.
I wish I did. Yeah, that's what she said. She's like, we should have switched seats. Like, that was brutal.
Yeah, I mean, what's that saying? Like, silence is what's the word I'm looking for here? I mean, no,
golden?
Like when you're going along with it, like you're by not speaking up, you're basically like agreeing.
Like complicit.
What's the saying?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Silence.
I didn't know.
I don't know.
Silence is violence. I think it's
well, yeah, essentially in this situation,
is that it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, I was also saying during the game, I was like, I can't wait for all the fucking boomer Celtic fan takes tomorrow who just watched their first game of the season. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be great. Oh no, yeah, I already had a few of those people texting me anyway.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, no, this loss, it pissed me off. But again, doesn't change. doesn't change things, but we do a podcast where we talk about every game.
Yeah.
So in this game, I'm pissed off.
A lot of
I'm
parts
annoyed.
of this game sucked.
I thought they fucking played like assholes when it mattered most, and they would play just good enough to keep you right there. I was like,
I feel like when it matters most part is where it's a little off. I feel like when all the starters came back in, they were down like 15 and got it back to a one-possession game. Like the starters, I feel like for the most part, the starters dominated. It was
okay,
it was the bench
the part that matters most is at the very end when you're losing. And I thought they made some shitty plays at the end and lost.
I guess, but overall, I think like in the last 5 minutes, we easily outplayed them.
There was that stretch where they had like what is it? What they came back, yeah, but they had those like 3 straight steals. The place was absolutely rocking. It was sick. And then their offense just shit the diaper again. Their defense did too, and they built another lead. And then we kind of scrapped and held on to make it interesting to the very end. But like, the whole time it was pretty much a 2-possession game after that. So
I mean, I guess
I would say that's like an important time.
I don't know. Again, I keep going back.
I know. I'll never get you to say it's
lost.
bad. I'll never get you to say anything's bad.
I'm saying plenty of the times we're bad. I just think we're focusing on the wrong times being bad. I feel like when our best players and their best players were in the game, we won the game very comfortably.
Well, then we should have just kept our best players in the whole time.
If it was a playoff game, we would have.
All right, we'll see. Fair enough.
Also, like, this team is sick because when our best players aren't in, we usually do sick. Right now, they're slumping, so it's going to look worse. If Payton Pritchard goes 0-8 for every game, yeah, we might need to reassess where this team is at. I don't believe that's real, so I'm not too worried about it.
It's true. No, I think maybe we need something like this. But yeah, there was one point too. It was weird that Joe called a timeout, and it was like Joe and the coaches were talking, and then the team was just talking. Like separately.
I like that.
Yeah,
he's done that before. Where he's just like like they know they're all smart guys. He's like they know what to do. I don't need to say anything. Let them fucking.
I was picturing it differently. I was picturing it as like he just has them over there, and he's just like
too angry
on them to the coaches, like where they can hear it though. But it's like these fucking guys. So they're like kind of like it's like coach. We can hear. Like,
I think he said sometimes he just likes them to huddle and take on the responsibility themselves. So like he's like at this point, there's nothing I can say that they don't know. He's like I need them to step up and be accountable and tell each other like this is what the fuck they do. So
sure,
yeah,
that's true.
I don't know.
It was all right.
Tough game.
Well,
tough game.
Yeah, tough game, shitty game. I still think that you have to guard Caleb Martin like he's Steph Curry when he plays the Celtics.
No, absolutely not. I will never get there.
He is Steph Curry when he plays the Celtics, so
maybe
48% from 3,
yeah,
33% against everyone else. 9 times shot over 40% against us. 9 times. He's probably played us maybe like 13 or 14 times.
Water will find its level.
Well, it ain't finding it with this guy. He worked a deal with the devil, Satan.
Nah, that's not even true. What happened in last year's playoffs?
Satan. Was he on Charlotte last year?
Oh, dog, that's his twin.
Cody Martin. That's his brother. Yeah. Yep. They're identical twins, though, correct?
Yeah.
Because I definitely saw good. Yeah. He's a piece of shit.
Different dude.
Anyway.
His brother?
I don't know.
Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should go get Cody. Make him the Martin stopper. Just only use him in those games. Just put him on his brother. Don't fucking lose this guy.
That would be his like that. Yeah. Just something to just. Yes. Something where we're just coming to terms with the fact that it's crazy what he does against us, and we have to be ready for it.
I think we can definitely come to terms.
The way he kicks his little feet is so weird.
It's disgusting. It's one of the grosser shots in the league, and it doesn't go in except seemingly against us once in a while.
48%.
Tonight was one of those nights. Tonight was just
9 times.
One of those nights.
All right. Anyway, glad I don't have to pick the Chuddy Chain first. Go ahead. Who do you got?
Al fucking Horford, you kidding me?
Oh, yeah, here's actually, which I was picking in second, or which I wasn't picking in second.
Al was amazing. I can't say enough about Al, and just so awesome that he just still dominates Embiid every time they play. From every little thing, when he's in there on him, just doesn't let him get comfortable. You see Embiid. How many times, that guy against other teams, you see his highlights, he can look like Shaq on given nights. How many times did he even get the ball like close to the paint? Like Embiid only finished with decent numbers because he also was having a crazy good shooting night from 3. But like Embiid was making him catch the ball seemingly out past the free throw line every single time, and he was just settling for like awful mid-range jumpers, shooting threes and getting lucky to make them. But like all the shots you would like want Embiid to take if you're facing him. And then Al on offense too was carrying the offense for a while when no one else could make a shot in the first half. He was seemingly the main source of our points. So, I mean, again, it's so good to see, especially on a night Kristaps goes down, and it just sucks. Again, a crazy, crazy stat to hear, just to lose by 4 points when Al Horford's a plus 22. So this guy, man, talk about showing up. Age,
Yeah,
never
that's
a
probably
factor
an
with
easy
Al
first
Horford.
pick for the Chuddy Chain.
Yeah, he was the fucking man tonight.
All right, I'm gonna give my Chuddy Chain to Nemius Queta. Just love the Christmas spirit, love the outfit.
Like a Portuguese
Everything
flag
looks
up
sick, yeah, exactly. So shout out Nemius Queta, just really getting festive.
Yeah, I like that.
So I don't really know who else I'd give it to. I mean, Tatum had 32
Tatum was
points,
good.
15 rebounds. Tatum had a good game too, but I don't know, dude. There's just, and again, it's like watching the game live. Sometimes it's like you definitely have the benefit of like replays and sort of seeing stuff more. It didn't. When I got home, all everyone was talking about was how hard Tatum was getting fouled, but it didn't seem like to me in the crowd at the moment that was sort of like it wasn't like a huge call for that.
It seemed
But
like he
you're
was
not
just
seeing as many-
hard hard and well and getting
every
to the
time,
basket and
right?
getting
He
mugged.
should be getting some of those calls.
It seemed
Yeah,
like he was getting mugged over and over again and just couldn't buy a call, is what it seemed like. Like, I had no
Yeah.
issues with Tatum at any point. Like, I didn't think they were bad looks. And I also think if everyone would crush him if he had started settling for jump shots. So it's like, you want him to keep attacking. He did. He couldn't get a call.
Yeah.
They were going in. But, like,
he had a good game.
yeah. I don't know. All right. We already been over it. That was not even his Chuddy Chain. We talked more about him than anyone else.
Yeah, no, yeah, Nemius Queta, unreal outfit, loved it. Plus, he had 5 rebounds, so shout him out. Shout
Love
out
it.
Queta.
Sweet.
All right, should we take a little spin around the league?
Let's do it.
Actually, I did want to mention one thing.
All right.
Because like you said, need a longer, bigger sample size, not panic or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the Celtics need to kind of get their head out of their ass, and they need to do it quick because I was looking ahead at the schedule. So we have Pacers, Raptors. Pacers will obviously that'll be a good matchup. Pacers
they're playing
usually
well.
play us well.
And then
Yeah.
they're playing well in general. I think they've won 5 in a row.
So there we go. Then we have Timberwolves, at Rockets, at Thunder, at Nuggets.
Wow.
That's
that'll
a
be
rough
fun
stretch.
It'll be a
What?
fun stretch, though. Good tests in there.
Well, yeah, fun but rough. Definitely not.
Not
you know,
easy. No
not
easy.
for the faint
easy
of
win.
heart.
No.
Yeah. Then a little bit later in January, we have at Warriors, at Clippers, at Lakers, at
Fun.
Mavericks. Clippers, Lakers is a back-to-back. Mavericks, Luka looks like Luka might be out.
Starts.
Yeah, that Wednesday, Thursday, both 10 p.m. starts.
Let's go.
Yep, and the at Nuggets game too is a 10 p.m. start.
Let's go.
And then again, the Rockets come back here. So
Love
they
it.
just the point of all this being is that they got, and then into February at Cavs versus Mavs at Knicks. The schedule
I always
is
say
getting
there's a lot
tough.
of good teams in the NBA.
The schedule's getting tough. They're having a lot of challenges. So whatever is wrong right now, and I do think that there's something off. But like I said, it's never like the same thing. So I don't really know how to pinpoint it. But
It's okay.
time to lock in. Gotta lock in. That's a rough stretch.
Yeah. A little rough patch. Not even that rough, but it'll be okay.
No, I'm saying coming up is a rough stretch coming up. So we have to lock in.
That's fine. We'll be good.
Right. All right. Keep an eye out. Tough. January will not
My
be
eyes
fun.
are out. My eyes are out.
Keep them up. All right.
They're up.
Chuddy's Corner is sponsored by Nick Prano Real Estate. Check out nickprano.com. That's nickpirano.com. He's got you covered for all of your real estate needs. Special thanks for me to the sponsor for sending me to the game tonight, working on assignment. Lovely little Christmas surprise there, although the game did not go the way we wanted to. But shout out to him and congrats to the sponsor. Adding another Chuddy head to the family, so good to hear that. That's why the tickets were open for me. So shout out to that youngster as well.
I like to tell people all the time, the only thing Nick Perino loves as much as moving is having kids. So
Bonk. All right, what do you got around the league?
Around the NBA, wow, what a day for the NBA. Seriously, I mean, obviously we weren't happy with the results of that game.
It?
No, what do you mean?
I don't know. I just thought it's crazy that the NFL. Oh my god.
The NFL games were awful and the NBA games were unreal.
Hold on. This is a live look at me reacting to the NFL games because I didn't see
Well,
it.
the NFL games were like almost
obviously
unwatchable.
at the game. So
They were
the
awful.
Chiefs won, whatever. But am I seeing
No, the Chiefs
final
game was
score
almost
for
as
Ravens?
34-2.
Ravens
whatever.
Texans is 31-2
Yeah, they had a safety. That was
to 2.
Texans offense was miserable. Could not move the ball at all.
31-2.
31-2. They just ran right down their throat from the opening of the game. It was unreal.
What a win!
No,
for
the NFL games
NBA.
were awful, but the NBA games were unreal. Starting,
NBA said, "Stay the hell off Christmas."
Yeah, no, great day for the NBA. Like I said, we didn't want to lose, but obviously, I think that Sixers Celtics game was great in terms of entertainment and for neutral fans. I'm sure we're enjoying it. Before that, we had the Spurs Knicks in MSG. Awesome game, exactly what they wanted. Battle right down to the end. 42 points for Wemby. Burying threes, blocking shots left and right. Had a huge game on that stage. Knicks still pulled it out. Mikal Bridges, last time we saw him, his shot was completely broken, but he's also scored over 40 points today and literally could not miss. They were basically running their offense through him down the stretch, and he was just going one-on-one and making ridiculous mid-range shots. So pretty wild to see. The Knicks are rounding into form. They got the number one offense in the NBA, so things have been looking up for them. They're playing some good ball, but man, this had to be exactly what the league wanted when they scheduled that game. Then in the second game, marred a little bit by Luka tearing a calf and limping off, not returning, and seemingly left on crutches, getting an MRI. It sounds like he's going to be out for a while. So big blow, obviously, to the Mavs. He's already missed 8 games. So, I mean, on a separate note, this most likely means that he's probably going to miss too many games to be eligible for All-NBA, MVP, any of that shit, which is kind of crazy. But maybe not. I mean, we'll see. But the other thing, Dallas roared back and went on a 31-11 run in the fourth quarter, almost caught up to Minnesota. We've talked about that Minnesota team, and I believe the other night I said that if they lost this game, it could get ugly. Well, if they had blown a 28-point lead and lost this game to a Luka-less Mavs, I think it would have been safe to say tomorrow heads would be rolling or they'd be looking to do something, because that would have been they were lucky to get out of there with a win big time. It did not look great down the stretch. Ant had a few huge plays to close it out. Super impressive drive and a lefty finish. But nice comeback by the Mavs, who were quietly 6-2 in games without Luka. And one of those losses was also without Kyrie. So I think we talked about it with Harden when Paul George left and Kawhi was out, and we were like, quietly, I think Harden's kind of happy that now he gets to be the guy again. I think Kyrie, too, at least for a little stretch, will kind of revel in this and be like, I can do this too. They looked great in the fourth quarter, and I think it is a little something for those people out there who are like, as good as Luka is, he's just like exhaustive on that offense. So guys looked a little looser. You could tell Kyrie looked like he had a little pep in his step. I think he scored 39 points too. He was going off. Some of those other guys getting involved looked like they were kind of having fun. So interesting to see how they play. I think they'll actually play all right, but obviously it'll be big news to see an update on Luka and just how long he is out for. But another really good game that went right down to the wire. And then obviously we got Steph and LeBron battling right now in the NBA's. What they've made clear is still their marquee game between these two Western Conference play-in contenders.
I see you tweet out that Bob Myers said that KD, LeBron, and Steph are the only superstars in the league? And
Stephen A. just immediately ripped them apart. It was like, for you to sit here and say like Jokic and Giannis aren't superstars, it's just like ridiculous. Especially KD to put him. I mean, KD's great, but why would KD be above Giannis or Jokic? Like Jokic has won 3 out of 4 MVPs, and he's in his prime. I'm pretty sure that dude's a superstar. Like, why would they? If you're ESPN, I would. Well, I would even call down and be like, dude, we're paying billions of dollars for this product. Right. Why are you? What are you saying? First of all, and he was trying to talk, first of all, it's inaccurate, so it's not even like we're silencing your take. Awful,
it's like,
idiotic take. Dumb. But also, he was obviously trying to hype up the Warriors, like the LeBron Curry matchup, by saying like, there's 3 superstars in the league, and that's 2 of them right there. And everyone was just like, what? Like, there's so many superstars in the NBA, and I get wanting to like maybe restrict that. Like, some people probably go too far with who they do call a superstar, but to say it's just those 3 at this point is absolutely hilarious, ridiculous, and again keeps tying into this issue we talk about where the NBA, where if they have any issue, it's the way they market the game and the people they trot out on their biggest events of the year. I mean, talk about a day when most of the eyeballs in the league, and you have so many of these great young players on display and a chance to talk them up, and you've got this guy in there who's just like, the best players are these 2 38-year-olds on teams that are roughly 500 and have no chance to win the finals, but blah, blah, blah. Like, fuck off.
I know. Like, imagine they literally just had Wemby drop 40 in a game. They had Anthony Davis play. They had Luka get hurt. They had Kyrie, who's won championship, like a championship, go off.
Just said come off that great Celtics Philly game where Tatum was 32 and 15 just won the finals.
And that's the take. It's like, how does that guy get on the air? It's just it's so dumb.
It's awful. It's really, really
Awful
and it's like,
stuff.
there's the guy who was the GM of the Warriors for the dynasty. He's clearly still stuck in the nostalgia of like Curry versus LeBron in the finals every year. It's like, dude, move the fuck on.
Yeah.
And it is cool. That's the thing. It is very cool that Curry and LeBron are still sick and they're playing each other. That is awesome. But it's like the way they're force feeding it down my throat makes it more like cringe and obnoxious. Whereas it's like, yeah, this is something that if you just covered the league the right way, shouldn't piss me off, and I'd be like, yeah, this is pretty sick. And instead I'm just like, man, this is fucking annoying.
You won't get this reference, but it reminds me of like in the old like wrestling Monday Night Wars, like WCW would be trotting out like Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair still. It's like, okay. And then like meanwhile you got The Rock and Stone Cold the next channel. It's just like those guys are old. That's the past.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
There's nothing wrong with having them on today and whatever.
Of course, yes.
Hyping it up like it's the game of the day when they're, two of the worst teams that are in action today. And then, I mean, they've got, again, we probably should have talked about this earlier. You weren't watching, but huge win for Celtics fans who were not excited to have to watch the national broadcast, tuning in and seeing that it was just Dave Pasch and Tim Legler. Such a breath of fresh air for that broadcast.
That was did they have it on the regional or no? It's never on the regional on Christmas. So all you had was the
pregame show and shit. But yeah, so I was so nervous.
That's not bad. I like legs.
As good as it gets. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But then they have their main team of Breen, Doris, and Richard Jefferson doing the Lakers. Which again, like I don't care because I wanted to watch the Celtics, but it's just like, why are you treating this like it's the game of the day? It's just
how do you go from Breen? How do you go from Breen, Mark Jackson, and Van Gundy to that? Just like, that's crazy.
Well, I don't know. But,
I mean,
it
we
is
know
what
how.
it is.
It just costs money, I guess. But
yeah.
I was like, we didn't realize how good we had it with that group, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, I guess. We'll see. We'll see again when the next year these other channels take over that hopefully care a little more. And hopefully they'll be good enough to actually, like, pressure/shame ESPN into making their coverage better. Would be nice. A nice result along the way. And maybe if the Lakers keep talking, they'll fire JJ Redick and he can go back on TV because it was pretty good.
Yeah, we finally had a sick person and he became a coach.
Yeah, so someone who actually liked basketball in the NBA was on TV for 5 minutes, and the Lakers like, we need to hire
and
this
like
guy.
roasting guys too. Like that was the best part.
Yeah,
he wasn't just on. I was just on TV making sense. Like people would say so. He'd be like,
I know.
Are you like crazy? He's like every stat. It's like okay, dude.
Right.
Loved it.
No, it's pretty brutal to say the least. But what can you really do?
It's fun.
Can you really do?
It's fun.
It is. But Lakers winning that game. Anthony Davis left and didn't return, I believe, also with an ankle issue. So that's now
Classic.
Anthony Davis and Porzingis have left and not returned with an ankle injury. Joel Embiid had a wrestling move-esque ankle injury.
Funny fall.
Caused him to leave the game. And so, yeah, keep everybody safe. We got Jokic and Durant, Nuggets, Suns as the nightcap coming up a little bit. Hopefully, obviously, no one gets hurt in that one. But bad day to be a big man's ankle.
Yeah, it's never great.
No.
All right, we have what did I say? We have the
Pacers.
couple coming up against the Pacers. You said they won 5 straight. Pacers are looking good. What should we see?
Something like that. I don't know. Don't
All
quote me on the 5 straight, but they're playing their best ball. They had a really rough start to the year. They beat us, but overall they have not been having a very good start to this year at all. They looked completely out of sorts and kind of struggling almost to find their identity, as now it seems like they've got half their team kind of wants to lean into one style, half wants to lean into another style.
5 straight, you're right.
Fully figured it out, but obviously we know this team has a lot of talent. We know they play really well against us. Aaron Nesmith, old friend and Celtics killer, has been out, which means a little more of Benedict Mather and a little more Ben Shepherd. Really good team. Again, they've been Jekyll and Hyde this year until recently, and Tyrese Halliburton also has been really good at home, really bad on the road. Bizarre splits that have people saying that his injury has something from last year has something to do with like traveling on a plane makes it like worse or something. Was I saw theorized out there that I think it was like some back injury, and they're saying once he flies he like can't get loose. The numbers might back that up, so I don't know. That's been an interesting subplot, but I think the Pacers with us are almost approaching the territory of like throw out the records and recent performances. You just know like they're going to get up for this game. We're going to get up for this game. Should be a dogfight. I'm looking forward to it. And I'd say it's maybe, for all the talk of we're going to struggle right now, maybe this is exactly what we need to see a familiar opponent just go out there and just try to beat up on him a little bit. No Nesmith, which is the ultimate like big brother versus little brother fight.
Nesmith is out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He always plays well, but yeah.
But they got a lot of guys.
They'll be coming off a back-to-back too. They play the Thunder the game before. I just saw too. So
what a brutal back-to-back.
I know they go. Yeah, that is absolutely brutal. And they're at home, and then they fly to us for 2 games. So, and then the Bucks after that. Damn, they have a rough 4 games that they got to go through.
Yeah.
All right, well, perfect. We'll see everyone back here on Friday. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. It looks like the Mr. and Mrs. Dugouts and Queen Chuddy had similar ideas. If you're watching on the YouTube, you can see we didn't coordinate the matching outfits, but looks like those City Editions hoodies were hot on everyone's Christmas list.
No doubt.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll see everyone back here. Yeah, have Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate. And to those who don't, just get in the Hanukkah spirit as well. And we'll see you back here on Friday. Everyone take care.
Merry Christmas, Chudlings.